Hello, this is Julie, and welcome to this VR mashup. So I will be combining two tags today. One is Where Are Your Decks? And that is from AvoryFaucette. And then the other one is from MarleneTheresa, and it is Everyday Carry Tarot. Or is it Everyday Tarot Carry? It's one of those. I will write it down correctly when I upload this video. I should have written it down here, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Avery's tag first, and then we'll go into Marlene's. So the first prompt is, where do you keep your tarot and oracle decks? That is why I am sitting here awkwardly like this, because this is where I keep my decks, in the closet of my personal office space room. I'm in here a lot. I'm in here a lot. So we have some decks up there, decks here, and then I don't know if you can see this, but in this kind of like Tupperware drawer storage situation, we have these 2 of 3 drawers have decks in them. And then I do have some other decks that are in a closet of a different room, but for the most part, the majority of my decks are here. And they are in no order, in case you can't tell. They're really not. I mean, it's just kind of like the top is lined up with the decks that, come in the more sturdy boxes, and then you've got the remnants here, basically. And then these 2 little plastic bins are really just decks that, I have in mind to maybe use for a particular month, or maybe they're regulars that I just want to have on hand easily. So that's pretty much it. Okay, second prompt, do you rotate decks or keep certain decks out? So yes, I do keep certain decks out. I switch out decks maybe on like a weekly, bi-weekly basis if I feel like it. I mean, it's not a pressure I put on myself to try to rotate my decks out, but when I am working with certain decks, I keep them out on my reading table, which is over there that you cannot see. And so yeah, either on that table or again, I might have them in these bins here. That's really it. So number 3, do you carry decks on the go, use them outside? So we will get to this question in the next tag, which is why I thought this would be a great mashup. I will say I do use my decks outside. To answer that part of the question, I do use them outside. I tend to, if I'm going to pull a deck outside, if it's a windy day, I might do my pogs. I have these things that I made, and then I also have some tiles. So it's these are great if you're afraid of the elements or anything like that. But truth be told, it's not like I'm outside often reading tarot. Usually it's gonna be over by my reading space. Okay, number 4. Do you have any favorite tools for storage or transport? It's basically pouches and bags from people in the community who have shops and sew lovely bags, which I could do a quick and dirty bag for myself, but since I really don't enjoy sewing, why not support small businesses and have them do it for me? So let me see here. So this is a bag from Sarah over at Sunset Bow Tarot, and it is holding my cup of contemplation cards. Then we also have, let's see here, Okay, we have this little wrap bag from Sparks Creations. It's Peggy Papez. And I have actually a few designs of hers. So I have tarot pouches that are like this. And then, let me see, do I have any out? She does have her, you know, signature drawstring pouches too. So I have several of these. I have a few of these. One is in like a larger size. You know, these are great, especially for the cat situation, because the problem with drawstring bags is that the cats love to chew on them. I have since been able to train them to fuck off and leave my stuff alone, but you just never know. So there is that. And then I do have like the random Moonlit Fae bag. This is a smaller one. I think I have like a larger size one for my Llewellyn deck. This has the, what does this have? Oh, this has my little Bitmoji Lenny in it. And then what else? And then I do also have some bags from, let's see here, a couple different size bags from, oh gosh, what's her name? What's her name? Betsy? Oh, I'm so sorry. I think it is like something like that. Betsy over at Bee and the Snake. So these are great too. So many talented bag makers. So again, why would I go through the trouble of sewing my own very mediocre, less than mediocre bags? Okay. Do you have, oh, so in terms of transport, I just throw the deck in whatever bag I'm carrying. So whether it be like a mini backpack, a bum bag, as you call them, I think in Europe, in the States, we call them like fanny packs or like waist bags or waist pouches. Or just like if I'm wearing like a messenger bag or like a crossbody bag, it's whatever purse or bag I'm carrying, I will just throw that deck in there. And then a final question for this tag: how has the way you organize, store, and rotate your decks facilitated or not facilitated your practice? So when I was living in my condo, I had very limited space. And what I have learned is that when I have all of my decks out, they do create overwhelm for me. So living in my condo, even trying to like store them away, I had very little room or capacity to store my decks away. So just the organizational structure of my condo and like the loft that I was in and using as my personal space, it just wasn't doing it for me. And so I found myself in, you know, several times just having like feelings of kind of overwhelm with just having them all out. And then also that resulting in kind of this indecision paralysis, because I have them all out and it's like, oh my God, which one am I going to use? Ever since I moved into my new home and I have a dedicated space to myself and more room, just this setup has worked so well for me in that, you know, I have decks stored away and then I have some out, and I just really have found it like it's easier for me to have just not be overwhelmed. And it's that kind of just like energetic ease, if you will. Like this has just been fantastic. You have no idea, because it was so frustrating for me when I was living at the condo. There was no way in which I could organize that space and my decks in particular to have them really suit my needs and suit my routine. And then even just having like the space for the tarot readings, my like own designated table. So because I have the setup that I want now, it's just felt very easy and breezy to work with the decks that I want to work with. There's not so much that indecision paralysis, and you know, space and structure for me, organization for me is what has made all the difference. So now moving into the next tag, which is the Everyday Carry tag, and just kind of piggybacking off of one of the questions of like, do I take my decks on the go? It was really fun to watch Marlene's process of figuring out which decks would be a good everyday carry. Now, look, let's be honest. I don't go places. I don't go anywhere. I'm pretty much a hermit. Like, I have friends, okay? I have friends. I do meet up with them. And when I do, yes, I do like to have a deck on me. Do I have a deck on me each and every time? No. And I think that is partly because I have had trouble kind of finding a deck that I want to take with me, I guess. So when I'm going out to, say, meet friends, a lot of times it is my thinking about, okay, which friend am I going to meet? Which deck do I think might suit them, right? And then, say I'm going like on a trip or something somewhere, that's a little easier for me to pick up because it's going to be a deck that I want to use for myself and I'm not taking other people into consideration. But I like the idea of having just kind of these go-to everyday carries where I'm not thinking so hard, right, about what I'm gonna take. And I mean, at the end of the day, I could grab anything. And if somebody wants a reading, it's like they can suck it up. Like, this is the deck that's going to be used, and like it or not, like, they should just be happy that I'm giving them a reading, right? And also, I think like part of my not being as consistent with an everyday carry is just because like I myself am not wholly satisfied with the deck that I choose. Usually end up like just grabbing on the go. And that is, and I apologize in advance for anyone I might be offending, but it is usually the Morgan Greer in a tin. And the reason that this is usually just kind of my go-to is because it's portable, it's in a tin, it's this mini size or this pocket size, so it's nice and compact. This is considered a classic, I guess. You've all seen this before. And so, it's one that I work with ease. I know I'm not going to have any problems with it. And so, I think, the imagery it's fine. Like, no one's going to come out and see this deck and be like, wow, that's like super fugly and hideous. Why are you using that deck to give me a reading with? It's for all intents and purposes, it's a great deck. And also, like, the reason I bring it is because, like, I don't care about it. Sorry. Like, I don't have a personal attachment to this deck. It's one that I could get again should it get ruined. And so that's the thing. It's like, I don't want it to get messed up, but should it, for some reason, become ruined in some capacity, then my heart's not going to be broken, right? So I'm not going to obviously bring a deck that is, say, maybe an indie deck or a deck that I wouldn't be able to replace. Oh, another thing I don't love, while in theory, tins are great, and I do love them for the protection, I don't love this. When I'm walking about and this is in my bag, I hear this, it low-key drives me bananas. So, and there have been times where I've just like thrown this into like a pouch or a bag because but then you don't get that protection, but whatever. So I have thought about other decks that I could bring as an everyday carry, like, for instance, okay, like something like this, Ethereal Visions, like, this is a mass market. It is a deck where I feel like, once again, no one's going to like question me when I whip out this deck. It's pretty, it's very, RWS friendly, adjacent. It's, again, an easy reader. I like that it has, you know, some diversity in it. Is it perfect? No. I think the main thing also with this is that this is not so easy to shuffle. The shuffleability is a factor. And this one just doesn't do it for me in terms of like ease of shuffling. Like you can already tell they're quite big. They're a bit on the stiff side. You know, I can riffle shuffle. I think I can riffle shuffle these, but it's not smooth. It's not easy. It doesn't feel great, kind of thing. So, you know, this is kind of out of the question. What other ones do I have? I mean, I could do maybe like a pip deck. You know, what about something like Squid Cake? I mean, that, see, then again, I also refrain from trying to impose my personal weird taste on people. Not weird, but like my personal taste on people. So as some of you might know, I love me like cute and creepy decks, right? But that's not the flavor for everyone. So I'm not necessarily going to bring out my Notorious JBG or, you know, like Nicoletta. I don't know that that would be the vibe for everybody. So then maybe something like this wouldn't be. I don't know. This is super cute. You know, and I'm not necessarily opposed to using a pip deck for a reading at all. I do like for there to be, you know, just visuals. So sometimes, you know, if you get a string of pips, that's not as visually helpful for the person getting the reading. I mean, of course, you can explain, you know, the organization of the pips. You can explain like the directionality. You can certainly get into all that. But in terms of kind of, I guess to make a reading more interesting, especially since I'm talking in the context of like I'm usually giving readings to my friends. You know, having the like fully illustrated decks seem to be more about the fully illustrated minors. So pips aren't out of the question, but like I see this is my problem. I don't know how interesting this is because I feel like people have done this tag and their process has been pretty clear cut, and you know they know what they want in their everyday carry, and I don't. I don't. I mean, I guess I know that I would like there to be ease of shuffling, portability. I can't really care too much about the deck, but I have to be excited enough to want to use the deck, which I think is probably where Morgan Greer has been like, yeah, okay, I'll take it because it's here and it's like what I've just taken before, so I'll take it again. But like, I don't love it as an everyday carry. So what else here? Can you see what I have? I don't know. Oh, here's, yeah, Light Seers. I know, again, the whole mini version. I have used this for friends in the past. They've really liked this deck. Once again, you know, this is a deck that I'm having no problems working with. The aesthetic, while not everyone's cup of tea, you know, it's fine. But see where I'm getting here? It's like I feel like I feel like my reaction to everything is like, well, it's all right. It's fine. But yeah, none of my choices I really love. For now, I think it's just gonna continue to be Morgan Greer until I, you know, find something that I think works better. Yeah, like back here we have like Fenestra. Yeah, Terror of the Sweet Twilight, like same thing. It's like a weird, quirky. Seasonally, I don't know that I care whether, well, do I? Yeah, so the moral of this story is I just don't know. And so until then, my everyday carry is going to continue to be Morgan Greer. I'll continue working on it. I'll continue to explore, and maybe I'll come back with an update if you guys care. I'm sorry if this is so lame. I feel like this is so lame. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so I had fun though. And if you stuck with me for this long, I appreciate you. And until the next time, I hope you all are well. Much love and take care.